What's up, everybody, and welcome to today's lecture. This is the Chapter 2 lecture all together. So this is for Monday and for Wednesday. This is all of it in its totality. We're going to go through a strategic planning for competitive advantages, is what we're looking at today. These are all the learning outcomes for the chapter, which you can freely browse through on your own time. But for now, we are going to start with the nature of strategic planning. Now, strategic planning begins with a clear understanding of an organization's main activity and core businesses. It refers to the primary functions or set of activities that the organization engages in to really understand its mission and how it's serving its stakeholders. So you want to begin really by identifying the main activities because that is crucial in forming the foundation for that strategic planning. So first and foremost, you got to look at the mission and purpose. So what is the organization's mission statement? And through that mission statement is how you define its main activities. So it succinctly articulates why the organization exists. It shows who it serves and what it aims to achieve. And this, you guys, it has to be aligned with the organization's value, and it has to provide a sense of purpose. We also have core competencies. That's what we want to look at. What does the organization offer as an asset? So what are the unique strengths, capabilities, and resources that set them apart from their competitors? How will the organization reach its goal? That's something that you have to think about when you are looking at strategic planning. And that is established once you have the main activity. So the next step would be to figure out how we're going to reach it. What are the goals and how we are going to reach it? The best thing that you can do is set clear objectives and goals. We can do this through something called SMART goals. And SMART goals are specific, they are measurable, they're achievable, they're relevant, and they are time-bound. These goals have to align with the organization's main activity and mission, and they kind of just provide you with this sense of direction. Once you have your SMART goals, you have them there, you know what you're working for, you know that they are achievable, you know that they are relevant to what you're doing, and you know that they are time-bound. The next thing you want to do, or maybe simultaneously, is to determine how to reach your goal through a SWOT analysis. Now, SWOT analysis, SWOT, stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And within this analysis, you have the ability to identify internal strength and weaknesses, and as well as the opportunities and threats that exist with your company. So those are all things to look into. All right. So moving on to strategic business units, or SBUs, they are a crucial concept in the field of strategic management and organizational structure. When we talk about strategic business unit, it is a subgroup or a division within a large organization that really operates this semi-autonomously, and it focuses on a distinct mission or a distinct target market, or maybe a set of products and services. And the idea here is that these SBUs are created to facilitate a more effective management, a more effective strategic planning, and resources within the organizations. And what are the key characteristics in this case? One, it has to have its distinct mission and specific target, and it does have to align with the overall goal of the organization, but it takes that goal and it tailors it to specific market segment or a specific customer base that it serves. And you also have these SBUs that identify and focus on a specific target market or customer groups. That being said, they focus on understanding their needs, their preferences, and their demand. Within the strategic business unit, they also have control over resources, How are they going to allocate the resources? Things like budgets, personnel, assets. They have autonomy to make these independent decisions. And they also have their own competitors. That means that each SBU typically competes with its own set of competitors within its niche or its industry. And so these competitors, they offer different forms of SBUs within the same organization. So, these competitors may be different for each SBU in the same organization. So one may have a particular market be a competitor where the other is a completely other market. So think about like a large organization for Apple, for example, the iPhone, other phones are competitors, whereas the tablet, maybe a Samsung tablet is a competitor. I don't know, right? So different markets and different segments. And they can be a single business entity, such as a division dedicated to one product or service, or it can encompass a collection of these businesses that share synergies and complement one another. They also have independent planning, which means that they kind of function autonomously, which we kind of mentioned earlier, but they formulate their own business plans, their own objectives, their own strategies, and they based on their unique missions and market conditions. So that's that. Some of the benefits of something like this is it improves focus. It has one key element, right, that they're focusing on, and that just makes lives better. They can allocate their resources better, they can enhance accountability, and they could be flexible and adaptable. So because of their semi-autonomous nature, these SBUs, they enable them to quickly adapt or change their perspective or respective markets without being hindered by bureaucracy because they're running almost autonomously. All right. So now we're taking a look at strategic alternatives, and these are tools that organizations use to make decisions about the direction of their business and how they allocate the resources effectively. So these tools, they provide this framework for evaluating opportunities and risk in the context of the organization's goals and their market condition. So within that, there are different types of matrices or portfolios that we can use. We have Aslanov's strategic opportunity matrix, and that is a versatile tool that the organization identifies growth opportunities by considering their existing product and market. That actually consists of the following. So you got market penetration, and that focuses on selling existing products in an existing market. So this often is done through increased market shares, through customer acquisition, and through marketing efforts. You then also have market development, and that involves entering new markets with existing products. And so this would be expanding into new geographical locations or targeting new customer segments and so forth. So now you are growing in a new place. You also can have product development. So it concentrates on creating a new product or service for an existing market. And this strategy here is aimed to diversify the product offering and create this or cater to an evolving customer needs. The last thing you have within Aslanov's strategy opportunity matrix is the diversification, which means that you are entering entirely new markets with entirely new products or services, and this can be high risk, high reward approach. The next thing that you can use as well to make your decisions is the Boston Consulting Group model. And this Boston Consulting Group matrix, it was developed by the Boston Consulting Group, hence the name, and it categorizes a company's portfolio or businesses based on two dimensions. These are market growth rates and the relative market share. Within that, there are 4 quadrants. So you have the stars. So these are the high growth, high market share businesses that require significant investments to maintain and increase market dominance. You have in the next quadrant over, you have cash cows, and these are market share businesses in low growth markets that generate consistent cash flow but require minimal investment. These are things that you're like, that's called cash cow because essentially you're milking that you're milking that profit at a very minimal investment. You have the question marks or problem children, and these are the low market share, so they don't have a high market share businesses, and they have a high growth market that requires substantial investment to increase market share, which means that you're not growing very much, there isn't a very big share, and there is a very high risk or high investment, in that market. And then you have the dogs. These are the low market share businesses in low growth markets and with limited potentials. These typically do not generate a high or significant return and may be candidate for failure. So those are, we don't always love them. And then you have the General Electric model. And the General Electric model, or the GE matrix, obviously was developed by General Electric, hence the name again, is a multidimensional tool that evaluates a business based on two factors. This is market attractiveness and business position. So the matrix, what it does, it divides the business into two categories. These are things like investment, growth, maintenance, or divest. And that helps the organization make decisions about allocating the resources and strategies. And of course, you want to choose the tool that is best for you, and that would depend on various variables. That would include the organization's goal, its current portfolio of business, and its expected timeline for profitability. And that would mean, if you have immediate profit, if you're looking for immediate profitability, then you want to lean towards the Ansov's matrix that focuses on existing products and markets, such as market penetration. And if you want to increase market shares, you want to look at Ansov's market matrix or the Boston Consulting Group model for targeting market development and investing in stars to gain a stronger position in high growth markets. And of course, we talked a little bit more about these earlier. So again, within Ansov's strategy, you've got market penetration, you've got market development, you've got product development and diversification, which I went through and I explained a few minutes ago. All right, so this is Ansov's opportunity matrix in a presentation format or in a table format, so you can kind of see what we're looking at. So you have the present market, you have the new market, you have the present product, and you have a new product, and you can kind of see how that matrix is laid out within that quadrant. One second. Next, so now we're talking about innovation matrix, and innovation matrix is a very valuable strategic tool, and it helps companies assess their core abilities, identities, growth opportunities, and it helps them make informed decisions about the innovation and expansion. It is really useful for organizations that are just looking maybe to leverage their strength and explore new markets or product offerings. So within that innovation matrix, it is structured around the company's core capabilities and its potential for change and innovation. So these would be things like the core capabilities, which refer to maybe the strength, the resources, skills, knowledge, and that are inherent to a company. And these are the capabilities that are really just often the heart of the company, of what the company does best and what sets it apart from competitors. The next thing that we want to look at is the different types of innovation. So you've got core innovation, and you've got adjacent innovation, and you've got transformative innovation. When we're looking at core innovations, this is the core capabilities. It is meant to, or it aims to rather, enhance or just optimize the current product and services, so make them better while staying within the established expertise of that company. So these are already there, they're core innovations, you just expand on them. You've got adjacent innovations, and these are things that allow you to explore opportunities that are somewhat related to the company's core capabilities, but involve a degree of expansion of some sort. And so it may involve entering related markets or developing new products or services that leverage existing skills and resources. So you have the skills and resources, you kind of look a little bit outside the box, and this is where we head over to adjacent. Then we have transformatives and the transformational innovations. And these are the things that companies consider to take, like, it takes them far from their core competencies and capabilities to entirely new markets, entirely new technologies, entirely new business models. They are just transformational because of the significant risk and change that exists. So that's on that. Okay, you can kind of take a look at this innovation matrix and how it looks like. You have the existing markets. This is your kind of your safe zone. This is your competency. You have your adjacent markets that you're deviating a little bit, and then C is where you're taking a risk and going further. All right. So continuing on with the Boston Consulting Group, and we're looking at the portfolio of this matrix. Again, we have these stars, and we went through these earlier as well. We have the stars. These are the things that are kind of keep growing relatively quickly. We have cash cows, where it generates more cash than it needs to maintain its market shares. We have the problem child, which is a business unit that shows rapid growth but poor profit margins. And we have the dog, which is a business unit that has low growth potential and small market share. So that's that matrix and how it looks like. Right, and you can kind of see it here as well. All right. One second as I find my notes again. So the General Electric matrix or model, it is richer and more complex than the Boston Consulting Group model, but it's also harder to quantify. And it runs, I'll show you this, it's right there. Okay, so basically it runs on two axes. And you have the market attractiveness, and that's the vertical axis. And this can be, it can include factors like size, like market growth rate, market profitability. It can include things like pricing trend, competitive intensity, maybe even the degree of risk associated with the market. And so the attractiveness here is graded as high, medium, or low. And you also have the horizontal axis, which can be determined by factors like market share, product quality, brand strength, production capabilities, and record of technological or innovation. Against, we are grading it from high to low based on different things. So within this matrix, you have 9 cells, and you can see this is a bit more complex than the other ones. But you have these 9 cells, and you have the green zones, yellow zones, and red zones. And so the green zones are invest and grow. So this is where businesses in these cells have a strong competitive position in attractive markets. And this tells them that they can use basically their resources to advance or to invest. Yellow is cautiously invest. These are either businesses that is attractive market, but with a weak competitive position, or a strong business in less attractive markets. So either way, there's kind of like a hindrance there. And obviously the red is the danger zone. And this is where it's a weak position and it is an unattractive market. And so by plotting the differences in these businesses or product lines on this matrix, you can kind of get a sense of what you should invest in and what you should not invest in. And so these are some things to potentially keep in mind. All right, so now we're looking at market planning. And market planning is an integral part of strategic management within organizations. It is the process of anticipating future events and designing a strategy to achieve specific market objectives in the future. So you kind of want to have this outlook on what is coming next. And so market planning, it considers the ever-changing market environment. So these are things like market trends. These are things like customer behavior, competition, technological advancements, things like that. And we kind of see this when we have like a new social media platform that comes up, like TikTok came up recently. It's only been, a few years since its conception. But even then, if you were looking at the trend and you were paying attention to it, you would have seen that, oh, well, this is an upcoming platform and it's something to be on the lookout for in the future. We have, the metaverse is also going to be a pretty big thing. And we know this because of the trends and how things are moving. So marketing, the components of this are planning, their marketing planning and marketing plan. So within planning, it is the process of anticipating the future events. This is what we talked about a second ago. Market planning is designing these activities to relate to the market objectives. So what are they? What's the market analysis look like? What's the SWOT analysis look like? What's the target market? Things of that source. And then you have the market planning, marketing plan. So now you've already done the planning. Now we are going to implement it into a plan. And this is a written document, and it is a comprehensive guidebook for marketing managers and marketing teams. And this is the bulk of what we're studying is this. We want to put everything together to be able to come up with these marketing plans. And so you're looking for strategic roadmaps. You are looking for things that would align with the organization's goal. You are looking at communication tools. You're looking at accountability, and you're looking at adaptability. And by accountability, I mean within the marketing team, by setting clear expectations and objectives. This is accountability. So here the team can be or can refer to a plan to track the progress and to measure it. And again, any goal that we set, it has to be a SMART goal, right? And then we have adaptability. And so while the plan provides this a structured framework, it should also allow for flexibility and adaptation, because you are in a dynamic market and you want to be able to, integrate what is happening into that as well. All right. So why write a marketing plan? What's the point of all this? It is a great tool, and it is a roadmap, and it is a guide, and it just keeps you going. So what it is that it forces you basically to analyze your market trends. You look at your consumer behavior, competitive forces, regulatory factors, and by conducting really this analysis of the organization, you really begin to understand what are the opportunities and the threats in the market. And it also gives you this internal insight as well, not just external words outside, it's also from the inside as well. It provides alignment and clarity with where you're going, or rather, if you know where you want to end up, you can figure out a road to it, and that marketing plan is that road to to achieve that goal. It allows for marketplace awareness. It allows for strategic decision making, because you have here, in this case, you have informed decision making. You are allocating the resources accurately as well, and so forth. You also, so within that as well. So these are the elements that would be integrated into the marketing plan. And as you can see, it's really just an incredible resource for any business. We're starting off with a mission statement. We're going to, from that, we are creating SMART goals. We're doing SWOT analysis. We are creating objective for ourselves. And then we begin to strategize. And you can use any of the matrix that we talked about, or any other ways to make those strategies. And then you present it with this marketing mix. Where are you going to, what's the product, what's the price, what's the promotion, what's the place? And we'll talk about all these elements later on as well. And then last thing is, you want to implement evaluation control. And so you want to make sure that you're able to come back and revise it as well. So a marketing plan is as good as the information it contains and the effort, creativity, and thought that went into creation. So it's not about just creating a document. It is about establishing something that is strong, that is cohesive, that is essential, and that will benefit you later. The more work you put into this, the better it can be as well. All right, my friends, let's talk about mission statements. Mission statements are very important. And by now, if you've looked at any business, this is kind of the thing that is there. It's kind of implemented all over the place, but it is essential because it drives you forward as well. So it drives the business forward as well. It declares the organization's purpose and the reason for its existence. My thought, if you're listening to this, I would say take some time for yourself and map out a mission statement for your life as well. What is the point? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to achieve? And truthfully, when you do, it's not only beneficial for businesses, it's also beneficial on a personal side as well. And so you want to have what it gives you is this clarity of purpose. It gives you an alignment to make sure that all the activities that come subsequent within your organization are aligned to a central mission. It provides a guide for inspiration. So when you're not sure where you want to look, you go back to your mission statement and really read into it. It motivates employees to have a sense of purpose, because they know what they're contributing to. And it's a clear statement for anyone else who's looking from the outside, like, who is this company and what do they want? Why are they in existence? And when I'm talking about marketing myopia, this was a concept that was coined by Theodore Levitt in the Harvard Business Review article in 1960. And it refers to a narrow focus on product and service rather than a broader understanding of the benefit that the customer seek. So this is how a marketing myopia can affect your business. If you are looking at it that way, you are looking at limited perspectives. So when a company defines its business too narrowly, it misses out on broader market opportunities. So think about it this way: a railroad company that views itself as solely being a railroad business can overlook the fact that customers may seek transportation solutions and not just trains, right? And so in the mission statement, you want to say that you are not a railroad company, you are a transportation solution, right? So that gives you room for creativity. So it's not myopic view of what's going on. Okay. Next up, we have conducting a situational or situation analysis. And this would be the SWOT analysis, which is really, again, this is the strength, the weakness, the opportunities, and the threats. That's what we're looking for. Strength are the internal attributes and resources that give the organization an advantage over others. You are looking for brand reputation, skilled workers, advanced technology, efficient process, customer loyalty. These are all strength within a business. Weaknesses are internal limitations in areas where the organization has like some kind of a disadvantage. These can be outdated technology, inefficient process, lack of resources, gaps in skills, and things like that. Opportunities are external, threats are external. Opportunities, they focus on the trends that organizations can capitalize on or achieve it's to be able to achieve that its objective. There we go. I can now speak again. These can be things like emerging markets, changing customer preferences, advanced technology or technological advancement, and a favorable regulatory change, which means that there's a change in law that you're like, hey, we can capitalize on this. And threats. This is why, by the way, it's so important to have that foresight to look forward to things that are happening. All right. And then threats are external factors that could potentially harm the organization's ability to meet its goals. These are things like economic turndowns, intense competition, regulatory hurdles, changing customer trends, or even natural disasters. And recently we went through this pandemic, and that was a threat for a lot of businesses, and they weren't able to readjust, to adapt and survive. The one thing that you also want to do when you're conducting a situation analysis is that you want to have this environmental scanning, which is a process of collecting, analyzing, and interpreting information about various forces, events, and relationship in this like external environment that just impacts the organization's future or implements its marketing plans or hinders its implementation of its marketing plans as well. So we'll end this recording here, and then we'll come back with the next following video. That way it's not extremely long and you can kind of break it up into 2 separate lectures.